Bueno, muy buenos días a todas las personas que se empiezan a unir a nuestra sesión informativa del día de hoy, 9 de septiembre del 2025. Mucho gusto para todos y para todas. Mi nombre es Karen Martínez, hago parte del equipo de Relaciones Internacionales y Consejería Académica aquí en COLFUTURO y el día de hoy estamos con la Universidad de Texas at Austin. Estoy muy bien acompañada en esta ocasión con Angela Brannigan. Ella es representante de la universidad y nos va a hablar de temas muy relevantes relacionados a oferta académica, opciones de financiación, hospedaje, becas y todas las demás recomendaciones que ella, desde su gran experiencia, considere oportunas y pertinentes para brindarle a todas aquellas personas que están empezando este proceso de planeación de posgrado en el exterior, particularmente en este caso en Estados Unidos. Quiero recordarles que este es el lugar y el espacio ideal para que puedan resolver sus inquietudes, así que la invitación es súper clara. Podamos prestar atención al máximo a toda la información que Ángela nos brinde y adicionalmente dejar cualquier inquietud que nos surja en el cajón de Q&A que con mucho gusto tanto Ángela como yo estaremos solucionándolas al finalizar la sesión. En adición, si todavía no tienen total claridad sobre el funcionamiento del programa Crédito Beca de Colfuturo, los invito a este sábado 13 de septiembre a las 9:30 de la mañana a una charla informativa al respecto, donde vamos también a solucionar todas sus inquietudes y vamos a brindar al mayor detalle toda la información relacionada. Como sabrán, estos webinars informativos se hacen en el marco de nuestra línea de convenios internacionales con muchas universidades en el mundo de alta calidad académica y particularmente para este caso, The University of Texas at Austin ofrece 5 becas in-state tuition fees. Entonces, es una oportunidad y un beneficio muy grande que nos brindan en esta ocasión. La idea es que lo podamos aprovechar al máximo. Entonces, nuevamente, la invitación es muy grata y es poder dirigir todas las preguntas a Ángela, que ella nos ayudará a responderlas. Sin mayor preámbulo, Ángela, thank you so much for being here today with COLFUTURO. We are so happy to have you here and to listen all the valuable information that you have to give us. So you can go ahead and start your presentation.
Hello, everybody. My name is Angela Brannigan, and I'm the Assistant Director for Sponsored and Exchange Programs at the International Student and Scholar Services Unit within Texas Global. I'm going to present to you today about the University of Texas. I'm going to cover university overview, student support and resources. We will go into the admission process, which I know is of big interest, and then we'll close by talking about life in Austin. So to get us started, we're going to go with the university overview, and this is just a photograph of some of our international students in front of our building, which is Texas Global. So here's the UT at a glance. Nearly 140 years ago, the University of Texas at Austin opened with one building, 8 professors, and 221 students. Now we've grown to more than 53,000 students from all 50 states of the US and 130 countries around the world. Our global network of alumni is more than 500,000 strong, so we've grown considerably. This is a snapshot of the various colleges and schools that we have in which students can choose majors to study in. As you can see, we have quite a large offering. Our Macomb School of Business and the Cockrell School of Engineering are probably our most sought after colleges and highly competitive to get into. However, a lot of our programs rank very high, and we have a number of students enrolled in each of these colleges. So UT's holdings comprise more than 170 million objects, including a Gutenberg Bible and other rare books, manuscripts, photographs, works of art, and artifacts from natural history to pop culture in 7 museums and 17 libraries, which are located across campus. One of my favorite museums is the Lyndon B. Johnson Presidential Library, which is the first presidential library to be located on a college campus. UT Austin has one of the earliest and largest collections of Mexican and Latin American art and documents in the world. The College of Fine Arts and the Texas Performing Arts Center present more than 600 performances every year, including Broadway shows, with a combined audience of nearly 285,000 people. UT Austin's reputation extends beyond the borders of Texas and the United States. We are internationally recognized, ranking publications consistently place us in the top 5% of universities across the globe. And in the US, we are proud to be the highest ranked public university in the state of Texas. So in regard to international impact, our global connections are part of what makes us a world-class institution. International students are an inherent part of the community here at UT, and they are at the heart of our institution. Hailing from different world regions with diverse socioeconomic, ethnic, and religious backgrounds, they bring knowledge, talent, perspectives, and life experience that enrich our university campus. And as you can see, we have a large international student population with more than 6,600 international students and scholars. We have about 1,200 international faculty teaching here, and we also have an English language center. So it's an English school located within Texas Global that has around 700 students that participate on an annual basis. In regard to global engagement and research, global engagement is at the heart of UT's mission, and our slogan, "What starts here changes the world," which you may or may not have heard yet, calls us to address global challenges collaboratively. Our faculty's research and creative endeavors span the globe. We've developed global engagement initiatives to support our diverse student population, respond to faculty expertise and interests, and align with broader institutional priorities. So that was kind of university overview at a glance, so you know a little bit about our background, our missions, our values, our student population and demographics. Now we'll go into student support and resources. So as I mentioned, I work for International Student Scholar Services, which is part of Texas Global. Texas Global is one office on campus that houses all things international, you could say. We have our English language center here, our education abroad offices are here. And then, of course, we have our International Student Scholar Services, which is what I'll focus on, because should you come to the University of Texas, ISSS will be your main source of support pre-arrival and as you spend your time here on the university campus. Within ISSS, we have 4 different units, one of which is the International Student Advising Section. These advisors serve immigration needs for our F1 student population, our F1 degree-seeking population. Then we have our sponsored and exchange programs, which is the unit that I work for. And if you are a COLFUTURO recipient, you will work directly with myself and my team. We provide dedicated support to students who are sponsored by U.S. or foreign government or employers. We handle their third-party billing, do immigration advising, do all types of social and cultural programming as well. And in addition to working with sponsored students, my team works with the inbound reciprocal exchange students. So that's international students coming to the University of Texas for 1 to 2 semesters. We also have an intercultural programming and initiatives unit. They organize intercultural and social programming throughout the year for international student scholars to have an opportunity to meet other students and scholars and experience a little bit of the Austin culture. Additionally, we have our International Faculty and Scholar Advising Unit. They serve the international faculty and research scholars that are here at the university. In regard to student resources on campus, there are many, more than I can put on a slide or two. So I'm just going to highlight some of the main ones that I am aware of that our students use. First and foremost, you're here to get a degree, of course, but you should take care of yourself physically and mentally. So we have an amazing exercise area on campus. It's comprised of Gregory Gym and Rec Sports, where you can play basketball, use weights. There's all kinds of exercise classes, a swimming pool, things like that. We also have the University Health Center, which is comprised of doctors and nurses on campus that are available to see students who are feeling ill. Of course, they're open through business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Then we have our Counseling and Mental Health Center, which we have counselors that are specially dedicated to international students because they are aware of the different challenges that students, international students may face while here at the university. And then we have our Disability and Access Center. This center is for all UT students. It's if you need any special accommodations, maybe you have dyslexia or you need a more quiet space to take a test. It's hard for you to do it in an open area. Disability and Access can help you get those accommodations. They will work with you and your professor to do those things. In addition to student support resources, we also have several academic support centers. Your main source of academic support is going to be your academic and/or graduate advisor. They are the ones that you will meet with to discuss your course registration, maybe plan out your degree plan so you know what courses that you're going to take in the upcoming semesters. They'll help you determine prerequisites, working with professors, different things like that. You then will also have your professor and/or teaching assistants office hours. All professors at the University of Texas hold office hours in between their classes throughout the week to provide students with an opportunity to come speak with them one-on-one to talk about any questions that they have that came up during class. Maybe they don't understand some of the material, or maybe they were really interested in the material that was shared and they want to have a deeper conversation. There's also a University Writing Center that is, again, available to all registered UT students. And this is where you can go if you need help formatting a research paper, writing a research paper. They can help with structure, formatting, tone, correcting grammatical errors, things like that. So it's a really great resource here at the university. I believe the University Writing Center also offers classes on resume writing, networking, different things like that. So it's more than just helping with writing. And then last but not least is the Graduate Student Assembly. I did want to point this out because it's a really great resource for all of our graduate students on campus. It is made up of graduate students who were voted by their colleagues to be in this assembly to represent their interests. So the Graduate Student Assembly, their mission is to improve the academic, social, and professional lives of graduate students by securing and protecting the rights of all graduate students, promoting their interests and opinions, and creating and promoting programs and initiatives to benefit graduate students. So if this is something that you're interested in being a part of, I would highly recommend that once you're here at the university to look into this. In addition to student and academic support, we also offer career and professional development support resources. The Office of Career and Life Design is a central hub for resources and services to help support grad students and postdocs to excel in their work, build essential skills, and maintain personal well-being and prepare for their future jobs. The Career Center Directory is home to the 16 career centers that we have on campus. You may have noticed that there are about 18 colleges and schools. So each college and school, with the exception of 2, have their very own career center dedicated to helping the students within that college look for internship placements or maybe even connect them with future job prospects. So each career center has a unique and specialized approach for career development and handling employer relations. We also have career advising for graduate students and postdocs. This is an opportunity to consult privately with a career advisor who understands the unique needs of grad students and postdocs. There is a Hire U Texas job board. It's where UT students and alumni can connect with local, national, and global employers for internships and full-time jobs. So it's an excellent resource. And then last but not least is Hooked In. It's a network of Longhorns, and by Longhorns, I mean alumni of the university that work in every industry. This Hooked In is powered by Texas X's, which is the university's alumni association. So again, Hooked In is another great resource to connect with UT alumni around the world who are in any type of industry and could get you maybe connected. We also have several campus safety resources. We are a very large campus, and so we have our very own police department. It's called UTPD. And they are located on campus, and they patrol the area, and they are a very great resource for helping students feel safe and secure. SureWalk is another program this one is unique in that it's a student-run volunteer group that provides walks to and from campus for students, faculty members, and staff. So if you're, maybe studying late at night and you need to walk back to your dorm or your apartment, which is in West Campus, and you don't want to do so alone, you can call SureWalk and they'll send 2 to 3 students over to walk with you and just keep you company. UT Night Rides provides a lift away from the main campus to your home 7 days a week from midnight to 4 a.m. So this is a great resource if you're living further off campus where you actually need to utilize transportation. Again, maybe you have a late class or you're studying late in one of the libraries or you're meeting with a professor late and you need a ride back home and the buses have stopped running, you can call UT Night Rides and they will pick you up and drive you back home. And we have emergency call boxes all around campus. The call boxes are maintained by UTPD. There's over 120 call boxes across campus. You walk up to it, you push a button, it immediately sends a signal to the University Police Department, and they'll come out to see what is going on, what help you need. And then lastly, we have the West Campus ambassadors. They are full-time staff members. They are an on-site presence that walk around the main Guadalupe Street, which runs west of campus. And throughout West Campus, they walk around on foot, and they also have like a small little golf cart that they drive around in. And they're there just to provide safety resources, pick up trash. They monitor the areas for unwanted activity. They discourage panhandling, which is, if you don't know what panhandling is, it's when a homeless person is or somebody is asking for money of people walking by, so they discourage that. And then they work with local law enforcement like UTPD and APD to address any troublesome issues that arrive on campus. You can learn more about these resources and additional resources at the website listed at the bottom of this slide. Okay, so now we'll talk about the admission process, which is probably what you all are most interested in hearing about. So to be considered for graduate admission to the University of Texas at Austin, you must meet both the minimum requirements listed on this slide, as well as the requirements set by the individual graduate program to which you are applying to. Keep in mind that often the program's requirements to which you are applying to are more rigorous than those basic requirements set by the graduate school. Each program sets its own deadlines and requires the submission of additional documentation. This documentation can include, it varies by program, and can include letters of reference, auditions, work samples, and personal statements. Information about required materials is available from your admission coordinator within your graduate program that you're interested in. But I'm going to go over right now the general admission requirements. So first and foremost, you'll need a bachelor's degree from a regionally accredited institution in the US or a comparable degree from a foreign academic institution. You will also need to have a 3.0 GPA, which is a grade point average on a 4.0 scale, or a comparable GPA in upper division work, junior and senior level courses. And in any graduate work already completed, GPA will be taken into consideration. If your GPA does not meet the minimum requirement, or you do not feel that your GPA is a valid indicator of your ability, you can submit an application and then use the document upload system to add a letter explaining your concerns. You will also need to submit official test scores. You'll want to check with the program of interest to determine which test is required. But as international applicants, you will definitely need to submit English proficiency in the form of a TOEFL or IELTS score. Those are the only two English proficiency scores that we will accept. And then, of course, adequate preparation. Your records must reflect that you adequate subject preparation for the proposed graduate major. You'll need to check with your program to which you're applying for if you have any questions about your prerequisite coursework. And then, of course, as I've mentioned previously, there will be additional program requirements, and it will be based on the graduate program that you're applying to. To see more information about these general admission criteria, as well as specific admission criteria for the various graduate programs, you can visit the gradschool.utexas.edu/admissions website on this screen. So actually applying for admission, we'll go through the different steps. You'll first complete the application. Keep in mind that applicants to graduate programs should complete a program-specific application. So each graduate program has their own applications. You want to make sure you're submitting the right one. You'll then pay the application fee. So upon submitting the appropriate application, you'll pay a non-refundable application fee, which could range anywhere from $90 to $200. It depends on the program. You will then submit your official transcript. So after paying the fee, you'll submit your transcript for every senior college that you have attended. Please note that transcripts must be submitted directly from the institution at which the courses were taken. And there are different ways that you can have these transcripts submitted, and that information is provided on the admission website. You'll have to then complete all department requirements. So as I mentioned, all programs have additional requirements that you must complete before they will consider your application for admission. And once you've submitted all of these things by the deadline specified by your program, you can then monitor your application status through My Status. My Status is a portal that offers applicants secure, individualized information from initial application submission to the final admission decision. My portal is really great. We tell students to check it frequently because the graduate school will put updates if you are missing anything or if something that you submitted isn't acceptable. So it's very important to check My Status frequently so you don't miss any important messages from the grad school. Okay, so attending the cost of UT can range from about $43,000 to $50,000 a year, and that is non-resident tuition. Non-resident tuition is around $24,000 a year. And as international students, you will also have to show proof of living expenses before we can issue an immigration document to apply for your visa. So proof of living expenses, we ask to see a minimum of $20,500. So those two together will be about $44,000 or $45,000. If you are able to secure resident tuition, and I will go over some ways of doing that, it does lower your tuition costs significantly. So tuition for residents is around $14,000 with the same cost of living around $20,500, which will make it about $35,000 for the year. So to fund your graduate program, there's various ways to do this. And of course, you can show, and most of our graduate students do show personal funding, but you can also secure student employment through a job like a TA, which is a teaching assistantship, a GRA, which is a graduate research assistantship, or an AI assistant instructor. The nice things about these positions, if you're able to secure, is you get a tuition reduction benefit. What that means is that you get to pay resident tuition, which, as I mentioned, will decrease your cost of tuition significantly. There are also opportunities for graduate fellowships. There are a number of university-affiliated fellowships supported through the grad school that can be offered, as well as select intramural fellowships that are coordinated by the grad school. So you can apply for those. And then the grad school also offers various awards to students initially at the start of their program, as well as throughout the program, which can provide funding support for tuition. It can be some of the awards are outstanding dissertation, outstanding student employee, or travel for professional development. So for more information about these specific funding opportunities, you can visit that link at the bottom of the screen, and it'll go into greater detail of how you can inquire more or apply for these opportunities. Okay, so that was the admission process, and now we'll talk about life in Austin, which is the last part of our presentation. So if you already know kind of what to expect at the university, the resources, the environment, you now know the admission process. So let's talk a little bit about living in Austin and what that will be like. So Texas is a fast-growing multicultural state of 31 million people with 3 of the US's top 10 cities and the country's longest international border. Despite any rumors you may have heard about Texas, it is not our own country. We like to think that, but it's not. But if it were, it would be the 8th largest economy in the world, and it leads the US in job growth, high-tech exports, and wind power generation. Texas is also home to Austin, which is ranked the 3rd best city to live in America, and this is according to US News Real Estate in 2025. And as the self-proclaimed live music capital of the world, Austin is known for its eclectic and entrepreneurial spirit and draws international crowds to our South by Southwest festivals, our Austin City Live festivals, and our Formula One racing. Leaders in global innovation and technology also call Austin home. So those are some of the various tech giants that are located here in Austin. And when I say live music capital of the world, self-proclaimed, I say that because you can pretty much see live music any day or night while you're here in Austin, whether it be paying for a ticket to go to the Moody Center or ACL Live to see a show or concert. You can also see a lot of just live bands performing at a coffee bar or a restaurant. So if you like music, this is a great place to be. And of course, you know, to live in Austin, you'll need housing. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about housing options. We have both on-campus and off-campus housing options. Let's start with on-campus. It is managed by University Housing and Dining. And to get on-campus housing, you will have to apply through the University Housing Portal, and you can do so once you submit an application to UT. So you don't have to be formally admitted to apply for housing. You just need to have submitted an application. Once you're admitted, that's when you can receive an actual housing contract. But we always tell students that living on campus is very competitive. So if you are wanting to live on campus, we recommend that you submit your application as soon as your application to UT has been received. As far as housing options, we have on-campus resident halls, which range between $6,600 to $11,000 per semester. Keep in mind that this amount also includes a meal plan. And then there are also university apartments that are managed by University Housing and Dining. And though the university apartments are not physically on campus, they are located within a UT shuttle or Austin Cap Metro bus route. A lot of our graduate students do live in university apartments. The cost is a little bit less expensive, however, does not include a meal plan. It's anywhere between $700 to $1,400 per month. So for detailed information about the various resident halls and university apartments that are available to students, you can even look and take virtual tours and see the different price ranges. You can go to the housing.utexas.edu website. So if you are not going to live on campus, you will live off campus. Off-campus housing is non-university affiliated, and it is managed by a private leasing agency or an individual housing provider. Living off campus will require you to sign a lease. Most leases run 12 months, so just keep that in mind. And they will include private dormitories that are located within walking distance of campus. They include cooperative houses or co-ops, which are also, there are some right across the street from the campus, and there are some that you'll have to take a bus or a shuttle to get to and from campus. The nice thing about co-ops, and a lot of our students do like co-ops, is that they aren't very expensive. And the reason for that is it's managed by students essentially. And so it's multiple students living in a house, sharing common areas like a living room and a kitchen and a laundry facility. But you basically divide up responsibilities of chores. So cleaning the bathrooms or vacuuming, different things like that. If you are interested in living in a co-op, I would recommend reading reviews online about the co-op, because some are known for being very loud and throwing a lot of parties, while others are known more for being more academically centric and quiet and studying. So just take special note of that. And then there are various apartments, both within walking distance of campus and spread out throughout the city of Austin that you can live in. If you want more information about off-campus housing, I would highly recommend looking at the offcampus.utexas.edu link. This you can search by Austin neighborhood. You can search by type of housing you want, like a loft or a 2-bedroom, a 1-bedroom. You can even look for roommates or people who are subleasing their apartments. So it's an excellent resource. So I would highly recommend utilizing that. And just so you have a little price point in mind, private dorms can range anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 per month. Those typically include a meal plan. And then cooperative housing, the co-op housing that I mentioned, is about $800 to $1,000 per month. And that It's the end of our presentation, so I hope you've gotten some good information and maybe some information that will spur some questions that myself and my colleague Sydney, who I believe is online, can answer. But if you have any other questions, whether it be today, tomorrow, months from now, you can contact my team at sponsorstudent@austin.utexas.edu. And you can also get a wealth of information about our office and the various services that we provide at global.utexas.edu. So thank you so much for listening. And I think it may be time for questions.
Perfect, Angela. Thank you so much for this
Welcome.
valuable information. So yes, we have some questions for you right now. And the first question is from Santiago, and he says, what is the ideal Colombian undergraduate GPA to have a very competitive application for a master's degree?
So it's going to vary by program. So that would be a perfect question to ask the admission advisor for the graduate program that you're applying to, just keeping in mind that you have to have a minimum of a 3.0. So I think anything higher than that would, the higher you get to a 4.0 will make your application more competitive.
Perfect. Okay, besides of the GPA, what can we do in order to have a top profile? Jobs, extracurricular, volunteering?
No, that is a great question. As far as graduate admission goes, again, it's unfortunately, it's going to depend on the program that you're applying to. And so I think what will be very telling of what they're looking for is the extra program requirements, the extra admission documents that they're asking for. Letters of references, portfolios, papers that have been published or written, things like that. But of course, in general, if you want to present a holistic application, you want to show that you're not only academically able, but that you're also able to juggle doing academics and also maybe working in an internship. It shows time management, things like that. So I would just pay close attention to the additional requirements that that program is asking for, because that will be telling of what they're looking for in a good candidate.
Okay, thank you. If I am interested, what is the first step or the next step?
So I would visit the website of the program, the graduate program that you are interested in attending, and take a look at all their admission requirements, take special note of their deadlines, and then just start putting together your application and just following their process.
Okay, thank you. Well, the next question is from Karina. She says, it is possible to live with my family in the universitary apartments?
Great. And before I answer that, I wanted to introduce my colleague, Sydney Cheney. She has joined us. She is actually our sponsor student advisor, so is the one who works most closely with our sponsor student population. So Sydney, feel free to jump in if you want to answer anything. But as far as this, yes, it is, as far as the question that was asked, yes, it is possible to live with your family in the university apartments. There are actually some apartments that give priority to students who have families. I believe that is Brackenridge Apartment, but again, you can look at the University Housing and Dining website, and it will give you a list of the different requirements.
Perfect, thank you. What fellowships can we get as Colombian students?
Great. So aside from maybe being a recipient of the COLFUTURO, you can, as I mentioned, under the graduate funding page or slide, you can get TAs, GRAs, AIs, or different fellowships are provided through the grad school. So I can't name any specific ones because I'm not within the grad school. I don't work with there, but I would recommend going to the funding page that I listed, and I'll list the different fellowships that are available and then who to contact for more information as well as how to apply.
Perfect. Okay, Luis says, I would like to confirm it. In addition to the 45% discount, there are any other financial aids, scholarships, or benefits that I may apply to the further reduced total cost?
So again, it's going to just depend on what is available within your graduate department. One of the best things to get is a TA, GRA, or AI appointment, because that will qualify you for in-state tuition, which is probably the biggest benefit. Keep in mind that you don't necessarily have to be a TA, GRA, or AI within the program that you're studying in, though of course it makes sense to be. You can apply, if you have other areas of interest or expertise. Sydney, is there anything you'd like to add to that, or does that cover? We're good? Okay.
I just want to say also, if you need to supplement your income, you are also eligible to work 20 hours per week on campus as an international student. So that's another way to fund your education.
Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Is there an age limit to apply, master or PhD?
There's not an age limit to apply that I'm aware of, as long as you meet, you just have to meet all the basic requirements.
Okay. If I want to apply for an MSN in nursing and I am registered nurse in Colombia, do I need to have my degree already recognized by the boarding in the USA?
That is an excellent question, and unfortunately not one that I can answer. So I would recommend, once again, going to the nursing site of the graduate school website and finding their admissions coordinator and posing that question.
Perfect, thank you, Angela. And the final question that we have is, what's TOEFL level or score in order to do the application?
Sydney, do you have that up by chance? I don't want to misquote. We can look it up. We can look it up for you. It's like, I think IELTS is 6 or higher. Okay, so you would need a TOEFL score that is 79 or higher, or an IELTS score that is 6.5 or higher.
Okay, perfect. Well, Angela and Sydney, thank you so much for this presentation and for all the information that you gave us today. And I really hope to see you in the next opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, that'd be wonderful. Thank you so much. It was nice to speak with all of you today. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, tía Sydney.
Bye
Y a todas
bye.
las personas que se conectaron, también muchas gracias por su participación y su interés. Los esperamos en los demás espacios que tenemos diseñados para ustedes. Hasta luego.